Part 2 of The Seed She Never Watered. Adam stood in his studio, the phone still in his hand long after the call had ended. Outside, the sun filtered through tall windows, casting golden light over a canvas in progress. A girl and her mother walking through a garden, hands nearly touching, but not quite. The distance between them was small, but noticeable, purposeful. He stared at the unfinished hands, his mind flickering back to the sketchbook he'd once shown his mother, the one she'd barely seen. That was the day he quietly stopped hoping. Until yesterday. Her voice had sounded older, smaller somehow. Not quite the woman he remembered, sharp with disapproval and unreadable silences. She had apologized. A simple thing. But to Adam it felt tectonic. He didn't know what to do with it. For years he had grown in her absence, built a life out of color and contrast, resilience and retreat. He learned how to shape emotion into story, to translate all he couldn't say into lines and light. He learned, more importantly, how not to need her. But now, with her voice still echoing in his ear, he realized he had always wanted her to call. Just once. Maria sat at her kitchen table, phone still in hand. The old sketchbook lay beside her, pages fanned like petals. She traced her finger along a pencil line of her own silhouette. Stiff shoulders, a downturned mouth. She remembered that day clearly now. How Adam had waited, hopeful, while she barely looked up. The guilt sat heavy, but something else bloomed beneath it, possibility. She didn't expect forgiveness, but maybe there was still time for presence. She opened her laptop. The headline still glowed on the screen. Adam's work was breathtaking, global, meaningful, and somehow, through it all, it still carried the tenderness of the boy who once looked up at her with outstretched sketches and unsaid hopes. She typed an email. Short, honest. I'd love to see your next piece, or anything you're working on, if you want to share. She hit send before she could second-guess it. Weeks passed. Adam didn't reply right away. But one afternoon, a package arrived at Maria's door, wrapped carefully. No note. Inside was a book, his newest. The dedication read, "To the people we grow toward, even if we start far apart." She turned the first page. There she was. Not the cold outline from the attic sketchbook, but something softer now. A woman sitting in a garden watching a boy paint the sky. Her hands were open, empty, but reaching. The next morning, Maria replied to his email. "It's beautiful. You always were. I'd love to visit your next exhibit. Just tell me where to be." Another seed, another chance. And this time she would bring water.